See the game more clearly with high-definition spectacle lenses from Norville Opticians.
David, how are preparations going?
We've had a good week. Obviously disappointed with the result against Harlequins, but we knew coming into semi-final week we'd get a reaction from the players. You only need to be around the squad here at Hartpury this week to appreciate that everyone understands what this weekend means to the club, what it means to this group of players who have put a huge amount of work into the season so far without probably the rewards we'd all hoped for. So yeah, look, we're all very excited about the game this weekend.
And forget Europe and possible qualification for the Champions Cup. A home semi-final at Kingsholm surely should be enough to motivate everyone, shouldn't it?
Obviously those are the nights we all want to play, and we all want to be involved in big games at Kingsholm. We've talked about this season that a lot of our good performances have been at home. A lot of our good performances have been against the top teams in England. Exeter fall into that bracket, so we know that them coming here is a huge challenge for us. But we've done a huge amount of hard work throughout the course of the European competition. We got ourselves into pole position to get the home quarter-final, which was very important. And history has shown that home advantage is a big part of success in Europe.
How much like a Premiership game, though, is this against another English side? Does that sort of take some of the European feel away from it?
It's certainly different, you know, against a team that we know well, players we know well, players we've played against already 3 times this season. So it probably is slightly different to going and preparing for a French team. But we've stressed all week, going into a semi-final, it's about concentrating on ourselves. We know that Exeter's a very, very good team. We know their strengths. Yeah, we know their players, but we also know that if we go out, perform well, play to what we know we can, the players we have, we believe we'll win the game.
Matt Kovacic obviously rested last week at the Stoop. Presumably he comes straight back in.
We come off the back of last week's game with a pretty good clean bill of health, which has been important for us. Going into such an important game, we have been unfortunate throughout the course of the season to have so many players unavailable at different stages, and again we're still pretty light in our backs with the injuries that we've had, but we've come off last week with nothing more to add, and with Matt coming back in, we have a good squad to pick from.
Yeah, just how important was it to get that rest into him?
He's played a lot of game time this season. Doesn't seem to have affected his performances or his form. He's been one of our outstanding players. Semi-finals, big games, this is when you expect your big players to play well, and we know that we have a core of players within our team who have experienced success at the very highest level, not just at club level but beyond that, and they'll bring a huge experience, a huge amount of knowledge to what is a hugely important game.
Obviously Exeter above you in the table, you've got home advantage. Who would you say is favourites?
Good question, I think, but if you look at purely in league form, you'd say that Exeter come into the game as favourites, but again for us, we're focused very much on ourselves. We know with the players that we have shown throughout the course of the season that against the big teams in the Premiership we generally have produced very good performances. You set aside the Northampton game, first game of the season, everyone else we've played near the top of the table we've performed well. So look, we've got to go out with a very clear plan of what we need to do. We've got to go out and execute that plan, and if we do that, we'll see where we end up.